Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here on this Money Making Sunday. Hey, I got a good group of guys with me today, man. Y'all know what we're finna talk about: NFL, NBA, and everything else underneath the sun. It's a Money Making Sunday. Mitch, how you doing today, sir?
Hanging in there. Another day of the NFL. It seems, Thanksgiving is late this year. Just the whole schedule just seems a little whacked, but doesn't matter. Plenty of places to cash. And just like yesterday, college football is one of those, can never really take too much for granted or, count any chickens before they hatch. We said it all college football season long. Crazy things happen all year, and we saw it yesterday, and we'll continue to see it all the way into next week as well, I'm pretty sure.
Man, it's getting uglier and uglier, bloodier and bloodier in college football.
I say it every year. Everyone acts like there's going to be these 8 undefeated teams at the end of the season. There's rarely one. There's rarely one, and we saw it yesterday, and it's like they're not even that all that hard to predict. I gave out on the show yesterday, Florida on the money line against Ole Miss, and hopefully a lot of people cash that with me.
Shout out the Gators. Shout out Mitch. Hopefully we can do some of that more today. Big Guy McMorty, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. I had Florida also, and then of course Ron. I think he graduates from Florida, and here's the other side. Go figure. Oh boy, yeah, it's a good time of year. I'm just glad that Alabama won't be part of the playoff.
I wouldn't count them out yet either, because the way these things work out, they're going to sit. This is how it's going to go. They passed the eye test, while some other 2-loss team or 1-loss team doesn't pass the eye test. They do it every single year.
Well, then they're pretty blind.
Well, they've been blind for a long time, and that'll continue to happen. It just seems that every year we see just a ridiculous justification of something, just like, we'll continue to see it. And that's why eventually you have to pay the piper, and that's eventually happens is these bad decisions back. The years that they stuffed those Big Ten teams in the playoffs, was it like 3 consecutive years they didn't score a point in the playoffs? It was like,
yeah. Well, I'm looking at next week's line. Take a guess what the Michigan-Ohio State line is next week without looking.
17.5.
Keep going.
22.5.
Open 22.5 down to 20.5.
Wow. See, I would originally thought about 21, 22, but I was figured it's Michigan, Ohio State. So, wow, 22.5. Wow.
Yeah. Indiana goes down, man. Down goes.
They didn't go down. They got exposed for playing nobody all season long, man. It's just the story of the Big Ten.
We'll see if they avenge themselves in the college football playoff against whoever they play.
Shout out to Coach Prime, man, for calling his players out, man. That was awesome. He was like, yeah, man, we started believing the hype. He's like, got way ahead of ourselves. It's like when I like Travis Hunter, man, he's been my guy and all those things. But when you start doing the Heisman pose, when you're losing, man, you look like an idiot, and I don't care what you say or who you are or anything like that. You do that stuff when you're winning, not when you're losing. And it's like, that is just way out of character for him. And it just shows you how off the chain this team got and just how offline they were going. And it's like I said it all along, they're way out of line, way out of whack, man. It's like you gotta keep a tight. You have a team like that, you gotta keep a tight rein. Like Jimmy did it, It's like you want to talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk, man. It's like you can dance and celebrate, do all those things you want, but boy, you better bring it, man, out on the field. It's like that game would have been a lot uglier, but you can't take anything away from what Colorado's accomplished this season. I had them at less than 6 wins, man. Here they are. So
the Big 12, it's gonna be crazy how that closes out. There's still like 4 or 5 teams that could be viable for the championship game, depending on how things break down.
A bunch of mediocrity.
Yeah, so BYU losing, it just opened the door for so many things to happen over there. So we shall see. We shall see.
You go by the eye test, and Arizona State's playing as well as anybody.
Definitely, 100%.
If you're going by the eye test, but it's the thing is, it's not that eye test. It's the other eye test.
Why are we talking about yesterday? We can't change yesterday. What about today? About the games today?
All right.
Nobody cares about yesterday.
I care about today.
Well,
we're just talking college football. We're not talking about our winners and losers. We're not talking about we're not talking about our unpublished record. We're talking about like just watching the games and observations and going forward to this week and implications on the playoff. We're not talking about like, going through game by game of games that we didn't post, for the public to see. Big difference.
Yeah, man. What's happening, Costi? How you doing?
We're not going to talk about yesterday's results, but I can tell you one thing. There is some results that are unpublished, but they are published on a certain channel. Mr. Big Al McMorty, big day, 13-5, right? 13-5. Close to 50 units on a rated model. Absolutely smoking it. Coming off a bad week and completely making it all back. So for the guys that held on, like I said, all week, that was the talk to the clients. There you have it. A nice bounce back. So that's all I'm going to say. I don't need to speak for myself. I speak to the guy to the left of me on the screen. Big college basketball day.
Well, Jay's been on an amazing heater in the NBA, man.
He's
slow. He's been, just absolutely killing it. Under the biggest heat and the biggest pressure of anybody on the internet. He gets the most views of anybody, has the most public exposure to it, woofs the most, gets talked the most shit about, and, deserves the highest praises as well. So, and hats off to everybody on our Pick Dogs team. Al had a great day. We know that. I always say with Al, he has a bad day, buy low. I've said it a million times.
That's been my claim to fame all week long. Buy the dip.
Claim to fame since Al joined our site in 2020. It's my claim to fame. Buy low.
Buy low. No, Jay's been on a good run as well. He's finally got it in gear. It takes a little bit early in the season. So now that we're here, it's a long season. Man, you want NBA? The J train is the way to go.
Jovan, what's happening, my man? How you doing?
What's going on, people? Sorry I'm late. I had some connection issues, so I had to fix that. Now I'm here.
Yes, sir. You ain't missing nothing. We just want to hop in right now.
Yeah. So speaking of good days, seems like we all had some good days, huh? So can't go wrong when with the guys that you got on now.
Can't. An elite crew on today, fellas. An elite crew. Let's do what we do. Let's make some money today. One hockey game. Anybody want to cover it?
No. I called the Utah Hockey Club the Jazz on my video this morning. I was like, wait a minute, they're not the Jazz.
It's like Gladiator.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. I would lean Hockey Club. I know somebody's going to care. It's in the title, so lean Hockey Club for me. Let's start in college hoops. Let's start over there. We got a game from the start in about 20 minutes in Portland and Princeton. We'll go through. Oh shit! It's a monster card today. College hoops. Let's go through. First slot, we'll stop at Villanova, Maryland. So we'll go through one. I think that's a great slot to start the day. Mitch, it's a lot of games in there, though.
I love today's college basketball card. And I've got a ton of plays in my premium, and I tell you what, I could go a lot more, and it still might. I think any time you get a shot to fade Portland out of the gate, you got to do it. I'm still mad at them for keeping Terry Porter around, that extra year, that a couple of years back. I understood the reasoning, making him sit on the sideline and watch the same crap that we were forced to watch with them for another season. But, there's no reason for the rest of us to have to suffer. It was basically like watching the Hawks on a loop. It was just terrible, man. It was, I'm taking Princeton on spite alone. Boise's really good this year, man. Watch out for them. I don't know if I love the 23 against Jovan's guys, but he'll probably let us know a little more about that. I like St. John's against Georgia. I had I fade Mike White all the time. I know the guys on the show yesterday it was a tougher one with Marquette, but I was on actually Marquette on the game, so I didn't really talk about it much. But anytime you get a chance to fade Mike White against a quality team, you got to do it. Newell on Georgia, if you haven't seen him, this guy's top flight NBA. I don't know where the rankings come. Al usually follows that because he usually has a team in the mix. But where does he land, Newell, on that list of like the NBA draft guy? He's got to be near the top. I mean, he's a ridiculous.
I have not noticed him, and I haven't looked, but I also haven't looked at it for about a month or two. So
he's got to be near the top. He's another one of these Georgia guys. It was really good, but the St. John's is stacked. Rick Pitino's playing.
I don't recall seeing him among the top 15, but
really?
I could be.
Oh, it's crazy. Oh my God. Someone's going to get a deal on him.
No, but look at McCain, look where he went. I mean, it's
McCain balling.
That was my pick as the best pick in the draft. Was McCain was my.
Well, but I mean, that was something you were talking about all last year, as he's the best player. He's the best player, but that's not how they necessarily draft kids, right? I mean,
right because they don't watch as many games as I do. That's
the two best rookies so far have been the two who were balling in college, Connect and McCain.
But the problem is the guys that do the draft don't watch as many college games as we do. And that really is the difference. So like we knew McCain was like ridiculous, Yeah, I don't see Newell anywhere on here, but my guess he's going to be one of these guys that probably emerges onto the scene. Who knows with these draft ratings. But anyways, I like St. John's in this one. Pitino's still mad about not making the tournament last year. So like every game is a vendetta for him this year. So he's not taking his foot off the gas in any game because he's not going to let the committee use it against him to keep him out this year after having the bubble pop on him last year. So look for St. John's to continue to win and continue to be assholes when they're up late in games. I like Maryland against Villanova. Villanova is straight ass this year. I don't think Neptune makes it to Christmas. He might, but I don't think so. Villanova's so bad. I'm going for Maryland on a show that cost him. That's like never happened.
That says a lot. That says a lot.
It does.
I like you today. I do.
Ever since Friday, my whole outlook on life has changed. You know why? Once that buzzer sounded at the Hawks game, my whole life became clear. It's like
I thought it was something
what
else,
I want to do with my life, what I want my life to be, and what I want my life not to be. And when you get 136 put on you by the Chicago Bulls, it's nothing pretty.
Al, what you like here in this first line college hoops?
I would say St. John's would be my my favorite play out of anything. It goes early. It goes at 11 a.m. Eastern. But I would take St. John's minus the 6.
Costi?
I'm with Mitch here. Riding Maryland, improved team. They did have the little blunder at home versus Marquette, but Marquette's pretty good. So I wouldn't look at that as a true letdown, but they're usually good at Xfinity Center early in the season. Villanova is a disaster. I've played against them a couple times now this year, made money. So I know 6 a little bit too much, but I think they win this game by double digits.
Yeah, it's hold on a second. Oh, forget it. Sorry. I was looking at something else.
So Al on Newell, ABC or ESPN and CBS have him nowhere in the rankings, while Tankathon has him as a lottery pick.
Yeah. What's the one site I like to go to?
Who are you guys talking
He
about?
has him. They have him going to the Spurs.
Oh, really?
Who's that?
Yeah.
Go to NBA
Tankathon.
Draft Net, the 2025 mock draft on NBA Draft Net, and see. Let me see where he is.
Oh, the guy from Georgia?
Yep.
It's really good.
They have him
19.7
ninth.
points a game.
They have him ninth to the Knicks.
He's good, man. He deserves
Yeah.
better than the Knicks.
Yeah.
Knicks are broken.
Oh, the kid I like is all the way up to number 2 now. He was 9 in the summer. Now he's number 2, going to the Wizards. Don't know how you pronounce his name, like Igor Demine or whatever, the guy for BYU. He's number 2 behind Cooper Flag right now.
Man, no.
See, Tankathon's got the ace
The
there.
best player in
Harper.
college is the guy at Rutgers.
Ace Bailey?
Yes.
Ace.
Go watch the BYU kid, Jay.
Best player in college hoops is the guy at Rutgers.
Ace.
No, the best player is Demon, however you pronounce the name.
Ace and Harper are unbelievable, man.
Ace be hooping. That's my favorite player right now in college.
Okay. Well, I've got money. I've got an 80-1 ticket on BYU. So
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
think about Ace. Ace ain't
I also have
passive,
Duke.
that's for
I've
sure.
got Duke at 10-1. I've got BYU at 80-1. Those were my two things, and it was because of Flag and Demon.
Ace is also averaging 9.1 boards per game.
He's a monster.
He's a monster, man.
Wayne, what's up, my man? How you doing?
What's happening? I'm here, man. Goddamn, got smoked yesterday, but you know them days happen. Threw a lot of damn tickets at the trash away at the casino. Bounced back on the day for me though. What's going on with you guys?
Nothing
going
much.
to the
We're in
game.
college. We're talking college hoops. We're in the first slot of college hoops, so you ain't really missing nothing. We went through 1:00 Eastern in the college hoops cards where we are currently. You got
Okay.
anything in the slot?
Not in this early slot right now. I definitely got to reevaluate some teams. Definitely after yesterday. Like I said, some tough losses and some I thought were better than what they were. Right now.
Fair enough. We'll swing back to you in a second. Jovan, what you like here in this first slot?
Yeah, I agree with St. John's. You know, Rick Pitino, he's on a mission right now. You know, if he has a chance to, he's going to blow his opponents out. That's just what it is with him. Good at that Hampton-Boise game. Now, Boise, they should get the job done. I mean, Hampton did get blown out by GW by 30, 28 to be exact. But I think a backdoor might be in order, depending on how the game goes. But I would have to lean on Boise in that spot. It's Maryland for me. You know, this Villanova team. And Villanova, they made me a lot of money during those 2 championship runs. They're definitely not that team anymore. You know, they made a blunder when they made that transition from Jay Wright, you know, by the with the coach that they hired. I think he was on the coaching staff, so it's kind of difficult. And I think it was short notice. I think that was the problem, and they just kept him aboard. But they should have looked outward.
Now he had left, Jovan. He had taken a head coaching job, which I think at Fordham. And then when it came available, he came back. He was like Jay Wright's guy on the bench, like right now.
Yeah.
That guy. Yeah. And then he took the Fordham job, and then as soon as this job, he came right back.
Well, whatever magic that Jay Wright had, he didn't give it to this guy. You know, so because you see a couple things with at least before with Villanova teams. 3-point shooting and hard-nosed defense. Not to say they were the best defensive team, but they might have been undersized in certain spots, but they came to play on defense. And you can hang your hat on those 2 things. 3-point shooting in defense in basketball now. Especially in college. Also guard, point guard play, but they didn't really have the point guard play, like that. They did have a couple different guys come through the ranks, but those were the two pillars of their success. So they don't have that anymore. They're not getting the guys. So, you got to fade them until further notice. I could only look at Rutgers. Think that Vermont number is too big. 9.5 versus Fairfield.
On which one?
I was
Rutgers?
looking at that. No. Vermont and Fairfield.
Oh yeah.
I was looking at the number. I was like, maybe it's a little bit too big, but Vermont in non-conference isn't the way to go. When they get into conference, into the conference portion of the schedule, that's when when I usually back them. Yeah, but that's really about it. We're going to 1 o'clock, right? Oh, and I like VCU. I just don't like how Miami responded, off of that loss. To get smoked back to games.
Terrible.
Yeah, maybe Larry Nager's losing it. Maybe he's losing his touch.
I don't know if he's losing it. It's just, man, they just are getting out of the gate so slow in these games. It's like they dig themselves this giant hole. It's like you can't get out of it.
Yeah, but what they were saying was, the transfer portal isn't working for Larry Nager. I think he's used to a certain type of player, and now that he's getting these transfer portal guys, these NIL guys, it's not the collective isn't meshing, so because he's getting the guys right.
Well, they lost big in the portal too. They lost real big.
Well, they still have the top dog there. What's his name?
Pack. Nigel Pack.
Yeah, Pack. They still got Pack. But let's see. It's still early.
They bought him from Kansas State. So I mean, it's like college hoops is tough. It's like these guys are just a revolving door, man. It's like they got to put it together fast and get what they can, and then the guys are gone.
It's college basketball is even crazier than college football when it comes to the portal.
Yep. It's only 5 guys you got to spend money on. So it's like there's a lot of money to go around.
Yeah.
Big money guys. Hunter Dickinson makes like what, $6 or $7 million a year for Kansas. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's gonna need it because he ain't making it to the next level.
He doesn't. I mean, he's gonna walk from Kansas, $20 million plus.
Yeah.
Earnings.
Yeah.
So.
For me, all I like in this first slot is Rutgers, man. I think they're going to blow the doors off of Kennesaw. Kennesaw, they've been solid to start, but they ain't played nobody of real stature yet. And I think, they did beat the hell out the Blue Hose. I got to give them credit for that. But I think Rutgers is a different step up in competition. I'm going to lay it there in this slot. So let's keep it pushing, fellas. Excuse me. We ended at Villanova, Maryland, so we're going to start 1:30. We got South Dakota, Duquesne, a.k.a. Ducking These Nuts. And we're going to go through – let's go through 3 Eastern, and then we'll close out the rest of the slot after. Or I'm sorry, 4 Eastern, and then we'll close out, and then we'll do 3 slots left. So once this slot and then one more slot. All right, you got me? Big Al, you're up first here.
Yeah, the only thing in this slot I would go with would be Utah Tech plus the 8.5
The eggs.
Against Northridge.
The eggs. Shout out.
The eggs.
Costi?
Yeah, I'm going to take a shot here. I don't like it much in this slot. I'm going to take a shot on LSU. Central Florida finally played a formidable opponent, even though they're 4-1, but they just got roasted at home versus Wisconsin.
So wait a minute. So Texas A&M and Florida Atlantic weren't formidable opponents that they beat. It's like finally played a formidable opponent. They beat Texas A&M like a freaking dog, and then they beat Florida Atlantic. They put 100 on them. I mean, it's like You got
It's
to
not.
be kidding.
What are you worried about? A couple years ago, Florida Atlantic. It's not the same team.
They're playing pretty well to start the season. The Owls are horrible. The Owls are horrible this year. Okay, they beat Oklahoma State by 8. They beat Liberty. It's like
they lost to College of Charleston. They lost to Drake, and Drake's not that good this year.
I don't like
Drake's
Drake.
not that good this year. You clearly aren't watching the games, man. Drake is off the chain this year. This is the best Drake team that they've had in 20 years. It is. It's the best thing to come out of Drake since the ring ding, since the devil dog.
We'll see.
Time will tell with this Drake team being as good as the one from 3 years ago when they went on that monster ATS and straight up run. You know, that team right there was something else, and I didn't like that Drake team. You know, so
I don't like Drake.
I would tell, but yeah, what they showed the last couple games, absolutely.
That one guy is hitting everything, man, like 30 points a game. It's like he just doesn't miss. I mean, he lit us up. I mean, it lit us up, man. What was it? I mean, that thing was ridiculous. What did he shoot against us? They must have shot like 90% from the floor against us. Let's see what they shot. This Drake team that's nothing this year. So Drake shot 88% from the line. And you're right. They were only 4 of 19 from the arcs. But the guy he put, 21 on us. He put 25 on Gulf Coast, 17 on FAU. These guys are good, man. Costa, I think you're way off.
Could be way off on Drake. I'm just not sold on them yet. I get it.
The last person that said they didn't like Drake on this show got fired.
I don't like Drake.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I've told you, I'm leaving the show.
No.
I'm staying on
the last person that said they didn't like Drake was fired. Not true story. Everyone knows.
I don't keep saying it for nothing. The bit is there.
It's like, why do you like about Drake? I don't like Drake. Drake has won 20 games like every season for like the past 10 years, man. It's like
LSU for me.
Go ahead.
Wayne, what you like?
Ben Simmons' alma mater.
I'm gonna go back to that first slide and realize that game was in there. But I like Rhode Island versus Charleston Southern. I like this Rhode Island team. I think this is one of their better teams. I think they have a good season this year. Very long team, scrappy on the defensive end. Worried me a little bit offensively, but I definitely think they got the team to get it going there. I think the books got it right with them as a favorite. I like them as a dog. I thought they was going to be a dog, but they are a slight favorite. I'll take them in that one. I'm on the other side of this UCF team. Anytime I can get UCF as an underdog, this team is very deep, and they don't even have their best player yet. So scrappy team, loaded bunch. Their bench is just about as good as their starting unit in basketball. I love a good bench, so I'm gonna ride UCF in that spot. And I like Florida Gulf Coast over FIU. Think this team is a lot better than FIU, and not only are they better. The line is right, so I'll lay that many points with Florida Gulf Coast against FIU.
UCF is a Big 12 team, man. It's like they're in the Big 12. Kansas, Texas, UCF, Arizona.
Javon, what you like here, my man?
Yeah, the only game that I do like is the UCF game. You know, I like them catch points to bounce back. This is actually a step down from the competition that they faced, a couple different teams. I think FAU they're better than LSU. I think that Texas A&M they're better, and who's the team that they just lost to? Was that Nevada? Who's the team that Mitch? Who's the last team that UCF lost to?
You don't have his headphones in. Now he do.
Mitch, who was the last team UCF lost to, the last game?
They lost to someone good. Oh, yeah. Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. So all those teams better than LSU. They have the benefit of having a tougher schedule. I think
Wisconsin beat Arizona. I mean, they beat Arizona, Wisconsin. They're good this year.
Jay South.
Bunch of slow white guys.
Yeah.
Shoot.
That's my style of play. I like in this slot. I'm rolling with the Jackrabbits, baby. Duquesne just ain't got it right now. They do not look like the team that went on the magical run from a season ago. And I don't think today starts the run for them. Not against a good South Dakota State team. Y'all know we bet South Dakota State a lot. I'm gonna keep betting them. 4-1 to start the season. They're favored on the road. Sign me up. I'm also gonna lean towards one of Wayne's spots, man. UNC Cashville against Central Arkansas. Laying points on the road. Central Arkansas just don't got it. When you play the common opponent game, you get to UNC Cashville. They're the sizable favorites on the road for a good reason. Them the two I like here in this slot. Small lean on Zip though. Small lean on Zip. Akron. Mitch.
I'm on the Jackrabbits as well.
Oh, the Jackrabbit.
But on the one I like best, and this is Nevada against Oklahoma State. Nevada, if you guys haven't watched these guys, this is like watching Jim Harbaugh's Chargers, man. This is like, you want to talk about a slow pace, methodical, like just somebody freaking shoot already game. Try taking it in a Nevada game. These guys, all the stats, so they're 313th in the nation in three-pointers taken, right? They only take 16 shots a game from beyond the arc, but they hit 48% of them. So it's like they don't take a lot of shots, but they hit a high percentage. They're 183rd in the nation in shots taken from the floor, but they hit 51.5% of them, man. It's maximum efficiency, and it is a tough watch. If you're like, today's world of the fast pace and the fantasy and all that stuff, this is a tough watch, but they do it. And you're up against an Oklahoma State defense that is a sieve, man. 334th in three-pointers against, 324th in three-point shooting against, up against the team that shoots 48% from beyond the arc. Good fucking luck with that one, man. I'm taking the Wolfpack. I never thought Steve Alford was much of a coach, but I actually like what he's doing here in Nevada because I think it's boring enough that we're going to continue to catch value on him because I think for most people, it's unwatchable. It is.
Fair enough. Anything else for you here?
That was the pick of the litter for me in that slot. I like the Jackrabbits in that one.
We'll close out the day in college hoops. Rest of the card. Costi, you're up. Come on, man.
Wisconsin for me. I've watched a couple of their games, and they have been solid across the board. And I just like what I'm seeing. I know Pitt's really good, but on a neutral court, this team is they play similar styles of ball where they slow down the pace, but I like Wisconsin getting the points. I don't think they should be an underdog here. Should be at least a pick 'em. So getting 2 points in my back pocket, I'll take Wisconsin.
Wayne?
Yeah, I'm going with Campbell. As a dog, I think again like 4.5. I just feel like they should be the favorite here against Evansville. Evansville is not a bad team. They're not a great team. They're not better than Campbell in my book. So point to a better team. I'm going to lean that way. Campbell will show throughout the season that they'll be a decent team in spots when we're getting points. I like Campbell here.
Jovan?
I look towards the under in Florida Atlantic and Seton Hall. Outside of last game, this Seton Hall team couldn't muster 60 points. They did just crack, the 60-point plateau in that last game. And, in order for them to win or to be competitive, they got to play hard-nosed defense, and that's what they've been doing every game in and game out. So it's the under for me in that one. I like what I saw at Longwood last game playing UAB. They shut it down. They really shut the Blazers down in that second half. That wasn't to be expected, at least by me. So maybe they keep the dice rolling against McNeese. It's 9 points. I think I want to have the points in my pocket in that one. I think that's just about it. Everything else now, yeah, that's it.
I'm on Wisconsin, man. They just play my style of ball, man. If the jumper falling, they gonna win. If it ain't, they gonna lose. That's pretty much the best way I could put it. And I think it's gonna fall. Give me Wisconsin, and I'm gonna lean Drake plus the points in that one. I think that Drake Vandy. I think Drake, if they come in here and play the same style basketball they've been playing in this tournament, they have a legitimate chance to win outright, man. And they've been slighted in this tournament, but I think they keep it rolling. I want to tax some plus money in that one. I like Drake. Mitch?
I really like what I've been seeing from Middle Tennessee State. A few years ago, these were our guys, man. I mean, they were just unbelievable. They flew under the radar the whole way, all the way into March Madness, where they knocked off Michigan State. To no surprise to us, we had a money line, loved them. But the thing is that this team is actually really good. This Mustafa that they have, this guy could play anywhere, man. And so can a lot of these guys on this team. I think Middle Tennessee is a huge value. I think they win this game outright. These guys, Porter and Mustafa, are scoring like mid to high 20s like every single game. I just don't see Bradley having the answers against Middle Tennessee's good. They got the numbers too. Both sides of the court. I like the teams that play defense.
Fair enough.
That's my pick of the litter in that spot. I also will take Grambling against USC. I just think there's a lot of value betting against USC these days.
Big Al, close us out today. College hoops.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to run the other way from a couple of you guys. I like Pitt over Wisconsin. I mean, I know Wisconsin's ranked number 19, and they're playing well. Pitt's just playing better. Pitt's outscoring their foes by 16.83 points a game. They're covering the spread by an average of 8.16 points per game. They're 5-1 ATS this year. So I mean, they've got the right team favored. Pitt's the better team. Generally speaking, when you get those ranked teams like Wisconsin that are underdogs against unranked teams, generally it's 50-50. I mean, it's like 49.8%.
Yeah, but Pitt's like 12 in Ken Palm. They're not, a nothing team. They
should be ranked. But the types of teams that do well.
14. I'm wrong. 14.
Yeah, the types of teams that do well versus when they're favored versus the ranked underdogs are teams that are off back-to-back ATS wins like Pitt is. So they usually ride the momentum and they usually beat those ranked underdogs. But I'll lay the 2 with Pitt.
All righty, fellas. That's college hoops. Let's move on to the National Football League, man. NFL Sunday. Money-making NFL Sunday. Let's go 3 games at a time. First 3 up, we're going to go Tampa Bay in New York. We're going to go Chiefs and the Panthers. And we're going to go the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders. Wayne, you're up first in these 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna rock with Tampa Bay. I just not believing in the Giants after the quarterback change. Don't love the Giants defense. I do think the Buccaneers defense is getting a little healthy and playing a lot better. Love what Baker Mayfield is doing. Love the way the offense is going, even with the injuries to our receivers. 6 points is a lot of points, but at the same time, when you're going against a team without an offense and the Giants, I'll lay that 6 points with Tampa. And as long as Bryce Young is a starting quarterback for the Carolina, I'm on the other side betting it until he's not starting no more. That's all I got.
Javon, what you like your first 3?
I want to be on the Giants. I know it's a losing proposition, so I won't. But I just looking at the line move, based on the quarterback situation with Daniel Jones, he's not worth 3 points. And you had Tommy DeVito, who when we played him, in East Rutherford last year, he got the job done. So I'm not gonna play it, but it would be the Giants for me, just based on the point spread, playing the number, nothing else. Looking at this Chiefs Panthers game, I want to be on the Panthers. The one thing about the Panthers is they have a strong offensive line and they can run the ball. Everything else, probably goes in KC's way, but play ball control football, you got a shot. And that's a big number, that 10.5. So that, and I like the under.
Not with Carolina. That's a small number. That would be 17.
Trash. I understand that the defense is trash. Bryce Young is playing a little bit better from before he got benched. From before the time he got benched. After he got benched. They got Adam Thielen coming back. I don't know. Just grasping at straws. I don't want to be on the Chiefs at this number. That's really the long and the short of it. So, but yeah, their defense isn't strong at all. They could get hung. A big number could get hung up on them. I know that, but this is November. It's getting late in the season, so that's just how I'm looking at it. And what's the third game?
Cowboys Commanders.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I got a strange feeling about this one that the Dallas Cowboys can make a run at it. I'm not saying that they're gonna win or anything, but this is a big number for the Commanders to be laying. With a rookie quarterback who, not to say he's been fading, but he hasn't been playing as strongly as he had, the first 7, 8 weeks of the season. Last couple of games, and maybe that's injury based, but he hasn't been playing as strong as he was. So Cooper Rush did show something last game, in a losing effort, couldn't get in the end zone, but still a decent roster over there in Dallas, so the only way I would look at it is I'll take the points.
For me, I'm with Wayne on the Bucks. I wanted to make it a premium, but it still says Mike Evans questionable. It says likely to play, but you never know. But I think he does play right now. Currently, I am going to bet Tampa. It didn't make premium, but I'm going to bet Tampa. The Giants are ass. The Giants are a fade. The Giants will continue to be a fade. I hear Javon's argument about Daniel Jones, and I completely agree. He's not worth 3 points. He's ass. He's terrible. He's just as bad. Tommy DeVito slightly might be an upgrade, to be real. People keep thinking, only reason people still regard Daniel Jones the way he is the money he's made and the pick he was. Based on the play on the field, he's terrible.
Yeah, but nobody liked the pick when it was made, either. It's not like, oh, wow, he was this great player that they took.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It was like people scratched their head at the pick at the time.
There's only 2 reasons he's still relevant. The amount of money he was paid and the level of highest pick he was. That's the only reason he's relevant.
I didn't realize he was relevant. That's the part I missed.
I missed. You missed the what was it? Whatever it was today that came out. Daniel Jones is looking to see what happens after this week and go to a contender. I'm like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah, he'll compete with Mahomes for the starting job in KC. Yeah, okay.
I think he said he might go to Minnesota. I think that's what I saw. And who was the other one I saw?
I'll tell you where he's going. He's going to Carolina. That's where these guys go.
Yeah.
He's a bum.
Man, he has a chance. He does have a chance to be kind of a Sam Darnold if he gets to the right team. I don't think he's a terrible. I don't know. He's terrible, but I don't know. I think he's been. That Giants team isn't good. They haven't really put too much around him either in his defense.
Man, he's terrible. I'm fading. I'm fading his ghost and the Giants. I'm leaning towards the Chiefs. 10.5 do make my stomach hurt. Are earlier in the week I was leaning Panthers, but I woke up clearly and was like, it's the best team in the National Football League against arguably one of the worst. Coming off an L, the first L, they probably flex their muscles and take them behind the shed. And then Cowboys Commanders, man, hashtag tank for Travis, bro. Tank for Travis. I only want one more win this season, and that's Thursday. I want to beat the Giants on Thanksgiving because, you know, that's a holiday. It's part of the formula here in Dallas. Like Thanksgiving, Dallas Cowboys, it's synonymous. So that's the only win I want. Other than that, I hope we get beat up. I want the whole coaching staff fired. I want to hit the reset button. That's what I want to do. So the Commanders, they are the better football team. Dallas hasn't shown the ability to do much of anything. We've been taken behind the shed by pretty much anybody. I'm just trusting my eyes, trusting who the Cowboys have been. Cooper Rush has been terrible this season. The ghost of him from a couple seasons ago is gone. Trey Lance, he's terrible. For everybody that thinks that Dak is the problem, I hope you've actually sat back and watched this offense the last 2 weeks and saw us put up 67 yards passing. I hope you sat back and watched what the hell we looked like last week. Dak is not the problem here. He's low-key the solution. He's the only thing that's really kept us afloat, man. And some of y'all hate on him, need to back up. That's just my thoughts. Continuing to fade Dallas. They're terrible. I'm going to lay the 11. Mitch?
Yeah, I like the Giants in the points. I like the Bucs to win the game. So I think DeVito is a huge upgrade over Daniel Jones. That's why they're starting him because, well, anyone's a big upgrade over Daniel Jones. But DeVito actually last year, 64% completions, 1,001 yards, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's way better than anything we've ever seen from Daniel Jones. So, you know, I think that they stay in it. I just don't think, you know, I think the Bucs are just the better team. I think they win the game. The Cowboys have some big problems in this game. You know, you'd see the 10.5 points. You're kind of like, oh, man, I could really get behind the Cowboys in this game. But, and they haven't covered the spread against an NFC team in 8 games. And it's going to be 9 after today. I'm going to take the Commanders. Someone said that they called you a dummy, actually, in the comment in the YouTube comments. And you know, of course, I bragged them for that part. But they said, who's someone that has come in and has been like whatever, a turnaround guy, or, you know, the one guy's come in the last 3 years? And the answer is this guy, Daniels. He's been the guy, right, that just turned around an entire team. I like what you know, and obviously he doesn't play defense. He's not Travis,
Stroud,
but it's
Stroud looks around them Texans. There's a couple guys in there.
But Stroud also has a loaded defense, you know, a loaded defense to go with. This guy has a reasonable team, and it's like he's lifted. Everybody's kind of rallied around him, and he's kind of changed the culture there. You know, that Hail Mary. I mean, this is the, you know, these are the things that kind of lift the whole team. So the Cowboys, you know, 0-8 against the number. I got to go with them. Now, this Chiefs, Panthers, people see these 11 points. They're just like, oh, the Panthers off the bye week. The Panthers. No, same dog shit, man. Same shit, different Sunday. The worst part about this game, this there's a reason this number is where it is, and it's this. The Panthers are the worst pass rush in the NFL. The guy who's playing quarterback for the other team, he does it running for his life, man. Imagine what he's going to do having all day back there to throw. Now, the Panthers, when they do get pass coverage on, they're one of the most penalized defenses in the NFL. This is a very, very bad day. This could be 45-50 for the Chiefs. This could be like a 50-pointer for them. I think this could be very, very ugly. I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Al?
Well, whenever a team is a double-digit home dog in the NFL, there's a reason why they're a double-digit home dog. It's because they're horrible and the team they're playing is great. So when you look at the history of the NFL, these are the worst teams in the last 45 years when you're a double-digit home dog. They're dog shit. We all know that. And yet they've gone 130 and 103 ATS in the last 45 years, including 12-5 ATS the last 2 years. I'm going to.
That's not enough to get behind this Panthers team. It's not enough. 130 and 103 is not enough to get behind a team this fucking bad. It's just not.
I would rather be 130 and 103 than 103 and 130.
I would say there's enough room in there.
With that 103. On one side,
it's just a
on the other side.
It's just a golden rule in NFL handicapping. You take the double-digit home dog. You don't think about it. You just take it.
I know what's Patrick Mahomes' record against dog shit teams, that don't rush the passer. I mean, what's his record in games where they've gotten zero pressure on him? I'm going to guess 150-0. I mean, this guy is next level, man.
Yeah, of course he is. That's why they're favored by 11 on the road.
I had a feeling Big Al was gonna come on here with one of those crazy good stats for the reasons to back the Panthers. But I gotta trust my eye test with this one, man. Panthers, like Mitch keeps saying, they are beyond dog shit. There's more words you can put out there to keep them going because this is a bad football team. And it's all around the board. Offense, defense, special teams, like Mitch said, penalties. It's not a good light you can really shine on the Panthers right now.
No, you're right. But Wayne, you might have to back out and come back in. You're lagging. You'll be bad. So you might got to come back in. Costi, what you like here in this slot, my man?
I'm on the Giants here, taking the points. I'm with the crew on this one. 3 points is not a big enough difference from Daniel Jones to DeVito. I like the points at home. Tampa Bay's not blowing anybody out. I know they've been competitive with this beat-up team.
If Mike Evans back, yes, they are. Yes, they are. The Giants are that fucking bad. They are, I'm trying to tell you.
I think it's an upgrade. First week off of the emotional get rid of your quarterback statement game where they want to show, hey, we made the right decision. I love these spots in the NFL.
Why is the line 6? Like, it'd be different if it was like 4, 3. That's what I'm saying. They're horrible. Don't even try to do it.
So, Giants for me. This Dallas game, it screams to me to take Dallas. Not obsessed with it, but I'm not running to the bank to try to bet Washington laying 11 points over anybody. I think now that we're into November, into December, end of November, you have a little bit of tape on Jaden Daniels. That's why you're seeing a little bit of a regression where he's not dominating like he was early in the season. A lot of it could be due to injuries. I'm just not obsessed with this number. I know it's a division game, which should make it closer, but Washington's been getting stomped on by this division for so many years that they might want to make a statement. I don't like this game at all, but small lean on Dallas. And I'm with Al as well. Carolina for me, plus 11 at home. Another one I'm not going to be obsessed to run to the bank. A lot of them are later in the day that I like. Mitch makes a good point. No pass rush, which make KC be able to air it out and have time, but they're just not a team that's just blowing teams out like that. They're just
because
not.
They haven't played the fucking Panthers, man.
I'm just saying it's not their DNA this year. It's not their DNA this year. They play really
like
good
I say on our Wednesday NFL show. Don't look to me for any sympathy, man, on some of these easy ones.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
You got to just – and one thing about the NFL, there's these spots where you can go on a team that's underperformed, but those teams have to be good that have underperformed to begin with. You can't just bet on bad teams, man, like the Titans and the Jets and the freaking Panthers, man.
Or else you get your Jets ass kicked. Not playing this week. Please don't bring them up, man. It's just I just need one day without the Jets. Just one Sunday where we don't talk about the Jets.
Stop picking them, and we'll stop picking on you.
I'm just they're not on the board. I'm not picking them this week.
Fair enough.
Hey, I've just one quick comment. Andy Reid is a double-digit road favorite with the Chiefs. He's 0-5 ATS, including 0-4 ATS with Mahomes and 0-1 ATS with Alex Smith.
Time to smash that streak.
Fair enough. Let's keep it pushing. Next 3, we got the Panthers. No, I'm sorry. We got the Patriots and the Dolphins, the Titans and the Texans, and the Lions and the Colts. That Colts. Javon, I believe you're up here first, my man.
Oh boy, ugly dog. Titans.
Oh no.
Look, yeah, man. Hey, look, I'm not betting them, but that's the side I'll be on because Houston hasn't shown that they can get separation on these teams. With that said, last game I think the last game they might have gotten some separation on the team was the Titans.
Well, here's the question, Jovan. I mean,
Yeah.
I've heard this all week, right? Because I've been fading the Titans every week. I'm over 75% of my NFL in the last month. I fade the Titans every single week. Right. And I've heard this. The Texans don't get separation, but Texans don't get separation. But what about the part of the equation where the fucking Titans haven't covered a spread in 3 months?
Listen,
3 months.
And that's the reason why I'm not touching this.
Where's the Titans staying within reasonable arm's length? I mean,
that's the reason why I'm not touching this game. Can't touch them. They're radioactive. But that's the side I would be on. That's just how, I was bred to bet football, basically. So if I'm looking at a side, that's the side I'll be on. But I'm not betting it at all. I wouldn't trust it with your money.
I wouldn't touch the Titans because they've been this number dog or more.
I'll tell you
along this stretch.
I'll take the Titans with Mitch's money. I'm not going to not do that.
I mean, they were 10-point dogs, did not cover. 13-point dogs, did not cover. 8-point dogs, did not cover. And they've been bigger dogs than this 3 times in the last 4 weeks. They didn't cover, man.
This has been 3 years running for these guys. They be in these spots, key spots, home dog spots, and they don't get it done. I learned my lesson last year. I was on them a bunch of different times last year, and those are one of the teams that never came through. So I start betting them. I haven't bet them once in these so-called spots, but I'm just saying what I would know. The side I would lean on in this one, because it's not a game I'll bet. Especially against a team in the Texans where, like I said, they're not putting together a complete ball game on both sides of the field or both sides of the ball, to back them.
But what we've seen for the Titans this year is you don't have to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But at some point, hey, this is the catch a falling knife syndrome. At some point, they're gonna catch one. I mean, they're gonna catch it. They're gonna catch a spread. It's not gonna last forever. You just gotta know when to back them.
Well, got to find the Panthers on the schedule or something. It's like, that's what you got to find. I
don't know if they got the Panthers on the schedule.
And it's going to be a rough road. I mean, the NFL teams go winless or 1-15, 1-16. It happens. This game has all the makings of that.
Anything else here, Jovan?
What's the other? Was the Pats, right?
Yep, and
Pats Miami
and the Colts.
And the Colts. Man, I mean, the way the Patriots are playing, as far as the total goes, I would only back the over in their games. They're letting teams score, but they're scoring just enough, to push it over the total. Their defense is trashed. Their secondary isn't getting it done. So you take the over in their games because they're gonna be down and they're gonna be chasing points. So take the over with those guys in play.
I'm on the Texans. I think they beat the hell out of the Titans. I mean, some of these teams that I think they're smarter than everybody and in reality aren't, I just got to fade. And the Titans were one of those teams. Will Levis wasn't good in college, and why the fuck would he be good in the NFL? Like, come on, bro. The experiment's over. They need to hit the reset button. The Texans, they are actually a good football team. I think they were banged up a lot to start the season. I think that's why they weren't covering. They didn't have all the pieces together. They're starting to kind of formulate the identity of who they're going to be. Joe Mixon's now running that peel. I think they're going to run the ball right down the throat of the Titans. C.J. Stroud's going to have an amazing day at home. Watch out. The Texans are a dark horse in the AFC. I'm still not hearing enough about. They have all the pieces and all the makings to go and do it. They do. I like the Texans. I think they beat the hell out of the Titans. I'm on that Colts. That coach. Just knew we weren't going to win. It was going to be the worst beat ever had. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I got 7.5. I'm just gonna be 1,000, which I got 7.5. You should be fine on the 7 though. I think this is honestly, I think the Colts have a legitimate chance to win this game outright money line. If there was a huge dog outright money line I like today, it's Indianapolis. They got all the makings of a team that can do it at home, at the crib. Lions, solid team, good team, but on the road against a team that can run the football effectively with a decent defense. That's kind of a bad matchup, man. I wouldn't be surprised if, I was going to really take, especially from being on the point spread side, is like the Colts to come out here and score first. Touchdown. 7-0 Colts, then you're down 14.5 if you're laying the points with the Lions. So it's just like, I don't know, laying points with the Lions on the road in this spot against a team that can run the football effectively like the Colts, you're asking for. I like the Lions. I bet the Lions probably more so than a lot of you. I've been yapping about Dan Campbell and all that. I just got a gut feeling this is the spot for the Lions that they might hiccup. And I would lean towards the Patriots in Josh Allen 2.0, a.k.a. Drake May. The Dolphins, they have been playing better. They still got a fake path to do something this season. I wouldn't be shocked if they took the Patriots behind the shed, but this is still a division game. And Miami's still a bad football team. And I don't like laying points with bad football teams. That's what they've been for most of the season. So just to play on the number, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 24-20 win for the Dolphins. I'll grab the points with the Patriots. Mitch?
Yeah, I'm back and forth on that Dolphins-Patriots game. The Dolphins have gotten healthy, and they've gotten a lot better, and they do own the Patriots, man, covering 8 in a row against them. So tough call for me in that one. I love fading the Dolphins. I love fading McDaniel, but I don't know. I think they might have the edge in that one. It is unseasonably cool in South Florida for that one. But it's not like cold. Then the other one, I like the Colts against the Lions. I've got my ass kicked betting against the Lions every single week. So let's continue to ride it. I got Ohio State yesterday against Indiana. I laid extra points all the way up to 20 in that game and covered. And I will maybe get it on the Colts. Last one, Titans and the Texans. This is the biggest statistical mismatch of the year in the Texans defense against the Titans offense. The biggest actually statistical anomaly, or whatever you want to call it, statistical thing where stats don't tell the story, is the Texans defense. I mean, the Titans defense, excuse me. The Titans ranked near the top of almost every defensive category. Do you know why that is? Because their defense is on a short field every freaking time, man. The offenses against the Titans are playing on 40-yard fields. So they're the Titans offense is playing on on about 150-yard field because all the sacks and penalties. Meanwhile, the defense is on a 40-yard field. So all the numbers and stuff, they don't really add up because they've been hung out to dry. Meanwhile, when we look at the Texans defense against the Titans offense, this is the biggest mismatch of the season. I don't see how the Titans score more than 5 points in this game. Maybe if they get a touchdown, it'll be extremely lucky, but I don't see it happening. You have the most sacked team in the NFL against a team that lays out the most sacks, the team that's given up the 24th most sacked yards against a team that has the most sacked yardage in the Texans. You have one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL, and Will Levis, against the team with the number 1 completion percentage against in the NFL. You've got just about up and down, every single major advantage here. I don't see how the Titans move it. And then you throw in like these stupid stats. The Texans haven't covered more than 5 points, and the Texans haven't done any of this shit. The Titans haven't covered anything, man. Nothing. It's like, it doesn't matter. They're given tons of points. They've been given way more points than this. Way more. And they didn't even get a whiff of a cover, man. These guys, they stink. This is going to be a stomping at home for the Texans, man. One big celebration. I don't see this one being remotely close. Those of you on the Titans, I feel no sympathy for you whatsoever. because you've seen it every week.
Fair enough. Al, what you like hearing, my man?
I just also following up on my earlier point. I looked at Andy Reid's coaching record with Philly, and he's 0-2 as a double-digit favorite with the Eagles. So in his career, in his career, he's 0-7 as a double-digit road favorite. Just saying, best coach in football with the best team.
Maybe the Titans cover for the first time this season is more than a touchdown dog, and then as well.
I'm gonna just look at the total in the Dolphins Patriots game. Just going to take this over. The first meeting was 25 points. Final score was 15-10. When the prior meeting totals less than 33, then the second meeting has gone over 84 and 52. So I'll take the over the 45 in this game.
Costi?
So we're doing the next three, which is Minnesota.
No. We're doing Texans, Titans, Lions, Colts, Patriots, Dolphins.
So the Titans haven't covered all year by more than.
I'm staying away from the Titans game altogether. I don't want to hear Mitch's mouth. It's just not worth it. I'm trying to have a good Sunday morning. So we're just going to pass on that game altogether. Colts for me, I've been wrong with Detroit many of times, but this Colts team has been covering a lot of games, and at home, I think the emotional factor with Richardson having a good, probably his best game this year versus the horrid Jets last week. Motivation at home, I just think 7.5 is too much. They'll be able to keep it close. The Colts defense is way better than the Jags defense that they got Detroit demolished. I've been waiting for this spot over and over again this year, and I feel like I've been getting burned with Detroit. Like there's going to be a letdown spot with them, and I think today is going to be the day.
That was against Houston.
What's that?
That Detroit's letdown spot was against the Houston Texans.
Well, but that was a 3.5 point spread. That's not really.
That's not even a letdown. Houston's a good team.
Yeah, no.
That was their letdown. They had 5 turnovers. They almost lost the game.
I get it, but still, like I'm talking about all coming off that 50-point performance, like they did against the Cowboys the next week. They still put up the points. Like usually in the NFL, there's a correction there, but this team's just been going hard week after week. I think today's the day I'm going to get the 7.5 point cover, as I've lost with this analogy that I've worked with for the entire season. But give me the Colts plus the points there.
Well, I think the letdown, maybe it goes under the total. I don't know if they cover or don't cover, but I would take the under in the Detroit game.
Right.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think them Colts might beat them outright. Like I
don't know about all that.
All right, man. All right.
That's it for me in that spot.
It's still the Detroit fucking Lions at the end of the day. Wayne.
Yeah, Big Al took the words right out of my mouth in that Lions Colt game. I like the under. I know Lions been top offense, been a lot of high scoring games, but they don't play as well when they're away from home. Actually, defense has been ramping up for the Lions too, even without their top edge rusher, finding a way to pull it together. And I think the Colts win the time of possession battle. They do what they do. They run the ball, kind of keep it out of Richardson's hand, play action. Just a lot of time spent with the Colts keeping the ball out of the Lions' hands. So I think we see an under in that one. And you guys can bash me. I know talked a lot of shit about Carolina and a bad team, and I'm over here about to take the Titans. But at least the Titans can get in the red zone. At least the Titans team is not bad. Yes, their quarterback is bad. Their team, to me, is not bad. Defensively, they're not as bad as Mitch said. And I think they'll be able to.
If you have a turnstile offensive line, if you have a turnstile offensive line, which the Titans do, right? 31st in sacks. That's not on the quarterback. That's on the line. 31st in sacks against.
I hear you, Mitch. I hear you, Mitch. But what if they run the ball? I just need them to cover. What if they run the ball? What if they play a smarter break? Act like I've seen the Titans move the ball this season. They at least get in the red zone. Yeah, they fuck it up when they get down there.
It's okay.
And that's another point I like to make. I've been on the Texans. I've been on the Texans in some close losses and close wins. I do not like the feel that I have when I bet the damn Texans. I don't give a damn if it's a win or a loss. They're always in a tight game for some reason. and they are a good team on paper, but they're not just smacking teams out of the water. So give me too many points, man. Titans got to cover eventually. I'm gonna try to catch that falling knife with the Titans. I don't think they have a bad team. I think they have a bad quarterback.
So, anyways, Al from Rod Zawacki sent me this text. Andy Reid on the road versus teams with a winning percentage of less than 40%, 11-2 against the number as coach of the Chiefs.
I'm just talking about double-digit road favorites, not when he's -6.
Whatever the case may be, you know, you could look at it anyway. Anyway, it's the point spread. Whether the point spread's 50 or the point spread's 5, it's, you know, spread's the spread.
Well, true, but there's a big difference between a point spread of -3 and a point spread of -10.
Not if you're the Carolina fucking Panthers, there isn't.
Let's keep it rolling, fellas. Next slot.
Not wrong. You're not wrong.
Next slot up, we got the Vikings and the Bears, the Raiders and the Broncos, and the Niners and the Packers. And then I guess we'll do the last two together. For me, I'm up here. I'm on the Bears. I hate the fucking Bears. I hate them, but I got to bet them today. It's just to play on the spot, play on the situation. Comfortable at home. Minnesota's not a lay 3 points on the road style team, not in the division game. The Bears have a legitimate chance to win this game outright. They should have won last week. They're just the Bears. That's why I'm grabbing the points. I wish it was still a 3 in the hook. That 3 is ugly. I wouldn't be surprised if we're heading for a push, honestly, if like Minnesota walked them off. But I don't see the path for a Minnesota win over a walk-off field goal. I just don't see it. Mitch broke down eloquently on the week show how turnover-prone this Minnesota Vikings team is. And on the road in Chicago, very favorable spot for the Bears. Bears back up against the wall. I want the points in my back pocket or to attack some plus money. I also lean towards an under in that game. Broncos, Raiders. The world is on the Broncos. I've been on the Broncos. I took the Broncos on the NFL show earlier in the week. I wimped out today. It's not a premium. I haven't bet it yet. I got time. I might be chasing. We'll see if I'm chasing after the 12 o'clock window. But as of right now, I don't have a bet on the game. I would lean towards the Broncos still. I think they're head and shoulders a better football team. But I wouldn't be surprised if they won the game like 24-20 and the Raiders covered. So it's not a game I'm necessarily all the way in love with. And then Niners, Packers. No Brock Purdy, no Bosa, no Niners. Niners not making the playoffs this season. I know it sounds crazy. I think some people still holding out hope that they might. They're done. They're cooked. I'm fading them. I'm taking the Packers here. Go Pack, go at home at the crib. I think they win the game like 27-20.
Mitch, what was the stat that Rod said?
11-2 against 11-2 against.
No. I know not the number. I need the elements of it.
25 to 40% win rate.
25 to 40. Okay, hold on. I'm looking it up. And on the road?
Yes.
As a favorite or dog?
As a favorite.
Okay, road favorite 25 to 40. Okay, hold on.
Am I up, Jake?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the Bears against the Vikings. Last week I was solo on the Bears. Sing the song twice. We read off the YouTube comments that called me an idiot and all those other things. And the Bears really just came down to another bad field goal, man. This is the year of the lousy field goal kicker, man, in the NFL. So, I mean, this really is the year.
It's kind of crazy because it's the year of the good kicker and bad kicker because you got more 50-yard field goals made than ever. But then they also missing like clutch ones. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, there are more missed clutch field goals than ever that I could remember. But with that being said, you know, Sam Darnold over recent weeks has become an absolute fumble machine. 7 fumbles in his last 4 games, and you just can't do that against the Chicago Bears. One of those will go to the house today if he does it. So I'm going to take the Bears again. I know they're not quite as contrarian as they were last week, but I still like them. I like the Raiders against the Broncos. I thought the Raiders played the Dolphins way tough last week. It was my only loss in the circa, was the Raiders, and they were in it until the end. The Dolphins scored a late touchdown to dress it up, but it was 100% Minshew, and that's why they benched him. I mean, he was just terrible in that game. So anything is going to be an upgrade here. I think the Raiders are going to be tough. I think the Broncos are a little ahead of themselves in this one, and I like the Niners here. I think the players out. I think Purdy is just he's no better than the backup, man. He isn't.
Purdy is better than Allen. He's way
not better than anybody. He's not better than anybody.
This guy y'all finna see today. I mean,
he's not better than anybody.
I think a lot of y'all be believing that until y'all see the backup. Like, I think a lot of Cowboys Nation is the same thing. And I think
played plenty.
Is gonna feel the same shit today. Y'all gonna be like, oh shit, maybe I gotta walk back.
Allen's played plenty, and the other part of it is that when players are out, that's in the line. No, that is in the line. It's not like the line was the same when they made the announcement as it is now. That's in the line. And the thing is that Jordan Love is so overrated, man. It's creating value on the other side. Oh, he had the big finish last year. And that was the last time we saw him be a reasonable quarterback. He sucks, man. This guy's way overrated. Look for the Niners probably outright in this one. If not, it's the Packers winning by a field goal or a blocked field goal at the end. The points, I'll take the points here with the Niners. But it's going to be the Packers. I mean, last week they beat the Bears on a blocked field goal at the end. They were handled in that game. It was like a prayer catch run, that got them even to the lead. The Bears dominated that game against them. But that's what the good teams do. They win games when they play badly. And the Packers, they play badly a lot and still manage to win, but it doesn't mean you're going to cover 5.5 against Christian McCaffrey, who's going to get the ball probably 60 times today. I'm going to guess a lot of short passes to Christian McCaffrey and to Debo, playmakers in space.
Al?
Yeah, well, Rod's statistic was wrong.
No way.
Yeah, it was really wrong. It's in his career with the Chiefs, that stat, he's 8-6 ATS as a road favorite. They just lost last week against the spread to the Las Vegas Raiders, who had a 285 win percentage. They were favored by 8.5. They only won by 7. And then with the Philadelphia, he was 12-6 combined, 20-12, but 8-6 with the Chiefs. Anyway. As far as these games, I agree with Mitch. I would take the trade-off of the 4 points for the crap quarterback with San Francisco. I would take the 6. And what are the other games?
Raiders.
And what's the third?
What was the third?
Green Bay, the Raiders.
And the Colts, right?
No, we already did the Colts.
That Colts.
Arizona, Seattle.
We lost Jay.
Oh, well.
Oh, it's the Bears. The Bears.
Yeah, I mean, I would take the Bears. Just go against Minnesota playing their third straight game on the road.
The Bears.
Yeah, I'm on the Bears here, plus the points. Division game. I'm hoping that I see a better performance here out of Caleb, but I'm not taking Minnesota on the road here. You've been seeing that the Darnold effect. The September Sam Darnold is never going to be the November version of Sam Darnold, and you're kind of seeing that of late, just being a little too reckless with the ball. Looks like a push game, but I'd rather be on the side with the points in my back pocket.
Here's what Rod is saying. Andy Reid in away or neutral site games when playing against a team with a winning percentage of 25 to 40% in the second half of the season
Oh,
His record is 11-2, and the average winning margin is 11.3 points.
okay. Now you're saying second half of the season. Well, that can change things.
What is that? Yeah. What
Is
that?
that in second half of the season in the month of like like when the sun is out? I mean, I'm just wondering like why the
I
second
think
half.
it's like you take the games and you say this is the front half and this is the back half.
No, I understand what you mean. I'm just saying that like I don't understand the logic behind it. I guess is what I'm saying. Like why would it matter if it's the second half?
Two-thirds.
The Panthers are ass.
We got
Bryce Young playing.
Then in the second half in the second half of the season, his record with Kansas City is 3-2, and with Philadelphia, anyway, it's 9-5-1 ATS.
But so here's the question: is Bryce Young starting for the Panthers?
Yes.
Take the other team.
This is a new Bryce Young.
Where is Rod getting these stats from? He should go.
Nobody's sitting on his shoulder anymore, Mitch. There's no. He's free rolling right now. No pressure. This is free roll.
Chuba.
No, Jonathan Williams. Hey, so there's a guy that's playing this week.
We got a guy.
There's a guy.
We got
Jay
a guy.
knows about this guy. Mr. Brooksy. Jonathan Brooks off the IR. Chuba Hubbard quietly is the third best running back yards-wise in the NFL this year. Real quiet. They stopped the run. It's Kansas City, though. So
The Panthers.
oh, no, I'll still take the 11 points. But
the wind will be coming in from Kansas City.
No. You know what? When I did that bit, I didn't expect it to be anything more than a hand movement. And now it's just for years. Never going away.
No, never go. That's what we do. We milk it. We beat it into the ground and then we milk it again.
It was very windy that day. It was going out from the stadium. The wind was blowing out. So Bears for me. Raiders for me as well. Division game. I like what I saw out of them last week. What's the best thing for a horrible quarterback for the Raiders? A really good tight end. This tight end has been exceptional. Over 70 catches in his first 10 games. He's almost as high as Nakua was last year as a tight end. So division game usually are closer than we think. I think Denver, they've had a great season. They're going to continue to be good, but I think 5 points is too much. Raiders for me. In the last one, I backed the Niners when they had everybody in there. I still back the Niners now at 5.5 just because the coaching mechanism for Shanahan doesn't matter who the starting quarterback is. You can kind of throw guys in there unless your name is Trey Lance. And they've been successful at it. And I don't think it matters that much. I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. Green Bay's not blowing out anybody either. San Fran, this is their season right now. They cannot go down 5-6 in that division where it is very, very tight. And they need to at least play this one tough. I don't think they're going to win the game. I think 5.5 points is too much. So I'll take San Fran here.
Jovan, what you like here?
I'm on the Raiders. This was just on the outside looking in of my premium plays, and a couple things the Raiders do well is they'll get out their quarterback in certain spots, and I think they'll be able to get to Bo Nix, make him throw some errant passes, and their secondary is has a reputation of being strong. Got some guys back there on the back end that can do some things. So I think this is going to be played within the point spread, 3 to 4 point game. And they got smoked in their first matchup. What I believe was like 33-14. So, when the team gets smoked like that in their first division game, I like to look at the other side. I like to look for that team, to show up in that one in the second go around. So, yeah, I'm on the Raiders.
Alrighty. Last slot today in the NFL. We got Cardinals, Seahawks, Eagles, Rams. Mitch.
I like the Cardinals against the Seahawks. I like the Seahawks in the first half, but I like the Cardinals for the game. I like Eagles on the money line against the Rams. In other words, I don't love the game.
Al.
Oh, I just want to fade Arizona off that 25-point upset win against the Jets. So I'll take Seattle.
It was a major upset.
It was no upset.
They were 1.5-point home dog. It was an upset.
No, it was not.
I'm a technical handicapper. You could, it's like
because the book said they were. They're an idiot. They've been wrong on the Jets all season long. Like that's the thing.
Upset.
So it wasn't an upset.
It was an upset. It's what it was. Did you bet on the Cardinals in that game?
I did. I got even money. That's not an upset.
Who was favored in the Jazz-Knicks game yesterday?
The Knicks.
I don't know.
Was that an upset? I mean, seriously. Yeah, the Knicks on the road. That's a good place to lay at some point.
Jam session bet of the day.
Was it?
Yeah, of
Sure,
course.
man.
Not the Knicks. Not the Knicks.
The Jazz.
I mean, there's another way to look at it. Okay, say it's not an upset. They still covered the spread by 26.5 points. So I want to go against them after covering the spread by 26.5 points, regardless of whether you want to characterize it as an upset.
That's fair. Wayne?
The Seahawks actually pulled the upset last week, didn't they? They beat the Niners as a home dog.
They did. They're off. The difference for me, though, is that the Seahawks are at home, whereas Arizona's on the road. So I tend to want to fade teams on the road off the upset wins and not the teams at home.
I like teams that run the football and play defense in November.
I like teams that suck in November.
See, I don't like teams that suck. I like teams that are underperforming.
Well, that's what I mean by suck. It's underperforming.
Well, there's different. No, there's a big difference.
There is a difference. You're right.
There's a big difference.
But sometimes they are one and the same.
Wayne, would you like here, my man?
I'm gonna go back a slide and just say that I agree with y'all on the Raiders. Just think that's a 3-point game either way. Divisional game. Raiders have owned the Broncos. I don't see no edge offensively. I think the Raiders' offense is just as good as Costi mentioned. Raiders have a plethora of tight ends, and they're pretty strong defensively. Not as strong as Denver, but strong enough. Just got an overhyped Denver team and an underrated Raiders team, in my opinion. And that Chicago Bears Minnesota Viking game, I just like the over in that game. I just think the 38.5 again is too low. Bears typically play better offense at home, and the Vikings offense isn't bad. I know people see all the unders and defensive teams, but I definitely think the offenses get going in this game. And out of the last two games you guys were just speaking on, lean toward the Seahawks. Nothing strong. I haven't played that game yet as well, so that's about it.
There you go. Costi.
Already did it.
No, you didn't.
Which one?
The last two.
Oh, the last two? I'm all over Seattle on this one. I know Jay doesn't like it. He loves Arizona. They're healthy right now, and they have a really good coach. And I know, it's a coin flip game. You could see it by the spread, but I think the Seattle home field advantage is the second biggest in all of NFL, with Arrowhead being number one, and it's worth 3 points playing
But
there.
if that's the case, Costi, then
Why
this
the
is
fuck
not
have
a
they lost
coin
four
flip
straight games
game.
at home?
I think it
it's
is.
not a
That's
coin
why I'm
flip
getting
game.
value. That's why I'm getting value, and I'm taking Seattle. I believe it's a coin flip game.
Oh my god.
Nobody else does. Taking
Whatever.
Seattle here. I don't care.
Story.
I don't care what you guys think,
It's a
honestly.
nice.
I'm taking Seattle, and I'm happy about it with a smile on my face.
It's gonna be a fun show tomorrow.
Yep, it's okay. And I'm on the Rams here as well. This Rams team, outside of that, it was an anomaly with the Dolphins. They're healthy. They're at home. They have a good secondary. I'm expecting that Philly's going to throw interceptions here. No Devontae Smith. This is back to when Philly's in full strength, they're dangerous. I think you take away one of those guys on the outside, and they're going to be in trouble here. I'm not a Philly hater. I've bet on them plenty of times, but Rams plus the points at home.
He's just taking the other side or whatever I'm picking.
I didn't even hear what you did. Is that what you did? That was the opposites? Was it?
Of course.
Oh, it's just it's already ingrained here without even hearing what you, because I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying. Love that. That makes me feel even better about the picks.
75% of my NFL picks over the last 4 weeks.
Nobody's 75% long term.
I'm 66% this season.
So it's like the roller coaster.
Yeah, but all mine, but I started here this season. So that's the whole thing, is I started all the way down here. Now I'm on the climb.
I'm the same way. It's like I just needed a sample size. We watched the game, so we just needed it to see what the fuck was going on. And now it's like we saw these teams are ass, and it's like people keep trying to catch these falling knives and
Titans and the Jets
and the
whoa.
The best part isn't necessarily even them taking the team; it's the explanation, trying to justify it. Like there's a path. There's no path, man.
The Titans aren't bad. Rick, the Titans aren't a bad team. They're getting 8 points. They're getting 8 points.
They've been getting more than that all season and haven't covered it, man. So it's like, why is that going to take? They were getting 10. They were getting 13. They were getting 8 against the Chargers. It didn't help them in any of those games, man.
Houston's banged up on offense, man. This team is not as good as you think. They're not a bad team, but I don't think they're as good as you think.
Shit teams on the road in a dome is always a really good chance against a fierce pass rush when you're 31st and giving up sacks. Yeah, it's a really good spot for them.
What you like here, Jovan, man?
It's a great spot.
Yeah, I'm on the under in this Cardinals Seahawks game. I'm just it's just a situation where these two teams lately, when they get together, they've played below the total. 3 out of the last 4 is going under the total. I believe Seattle's on a 4-game under run. I think they keep that going. That's really because of their execution, making mistakes, Geno Smith turning the ball over, and crucial spots, going up against the Arizona team who, they got a real solid defense over there. So I think it's going to be one of those lower scoring games. And I'm on the under in the Sunday Night Football game as well. I see anything over 48, 49 points. I'm going to look towards the under. These two teams can get it done. That's fair to say. But I think that if it's a higher scoring game in the first half, they're going to die in the vine in the second half. We see that a lot, when adjustments are made defensively. You see these teams that, they put up some points. Both teams, they put up some points in the first half. Next thing second half, no one's scoring. So as long as we get a quarter of no scoring or minimum scoring, then I think the unders, pretty much in hand. Unless one of the teams, gets out to an early, lead or early sizable lead, and then, all hell could break loose. But I think it's going to be a relatively close game. I don't think one team's going to, go out into a sprint on the other team. So I think the under's safe.
I'm on the Cardinals, man. I'm on the Cardinals. They're the better football team, and they're going to win this division. I don't even think they're going to sweat to win it. They're better at everything than Seattle. And Seattle at home, there's this myth that they're this dominant home team, and they've lost 4 straight home games. So I don't want to hear that shit. I don't really care. They lost to the Rams, the Bills, the Niners, and the Daniel Jones Giants. Those are the last 4 home games for the Seahawks. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Everybody keep doubting the Cardinals, man. Like, they got all the makeups of a good team. They run the football effectively. They have a really good quarterback who's had a track record of winning his entire career. But he's in Arizona. He has to uplift the fucking Cardinals. Like, the defense is solid. Like, there's no path here for me for Seattle. I'm not catching this falling knife. I'm just taking the better team, playing the better football, looking for their 5th straight win, looking to take a dominant division lead. Give me the Cardinals. And then I'm on the Rams. I don't love it. Eagles, I'm starting to walk back. A lot of my Eagles hate this season. By default, they're the second best team right now in the NFL. I mean, not in the NFL, in the NFC. And honestly, NFC Championship game in Detroit, depending on what the line is, I already know I'm going to be on Philly in that game. I'm just saying. It's still the Detroit fucking Lions at the end of the day. And that's
this is not your grandfather's Detroit Lions.
Yeah, it ain't, but it is. Until
it is
It's not even your brother's Detroit Lions from 3
It's not. You know what? It's not even last year's Detroit Lions.
All right, yeah, I can continue to drink that Lion Kool-Aid, man.
No, I don't know what I'll do from a game-to-game basis. I'm just saying, like, don't assign all of the,
I am. This is what I do
from the past 50 years to this year's team.
That's what I do. Until you show me, that's who you are.
Don't apply the last 50 years, but used 133 and 100 as justification for making.
That's across the board for all teams.
That's saying the universe of double-digit home dogs. Oh, by the way, Wayne made a good point, I thought, when he talked about how, in the Titans game, they're, the point spread, gets adjusted. They're getting 8 points now. If the line was 8 points for all 10 of Tennessee's games so far this year, they would be 5-5 ATS.
Yeah, but the games that they were dogs of 8 points or more, they're over, right?
Well, they're 1-9 ATS. They're over the fucking season. I'm just saying, but if the line was
there's nothing to be said about the Texans not covering big numbers at home. And this team, the Texans haven't covered big numbers up, but this team hasn't covered any numbers.
Well, right, but a lot of those any numbers were 2 and 3, and now it's 8. So it's been adjusted. I mean, you can't sit here and say that the number hasn't been adjusted to account for how bad the Titans have been. That's all.
Well, it's down from where it was. It was 13.5, right? Didn't they go 13.5 in one of these? 10.5.
No, I'm talking. That's anyway.
They're a bad team.
Yes, bad. That is stipulated.
Terrible.
We don't even have to worry about the Texans because they're fully capable of beating themselves. Fully capable of beating themselves.
But it's like last week you had the great teams, the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the 49ers. None of them covered the spread. So you can have great teams not cover.
I was on the other side. I was on the other side of the Chiefs with the Bills. I thought that game was a bad line. Who'd the Ravens play? Oh, the Steelers didn't touch it. And what was the other one? 49ers. Who they played? Seahawks. Who I was on the other side.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, it's.
I mean, I don't just sit here and take favorites against bad teams. I'm just saying the Titans are a special gift that the NFL has bestowed upon us this season. They are. And who am I to not cash these tickets?
And y'all know me. One of my favorite things to do is to tell you guys which teams are overrated and over fucking value. It's one of my favorite things. And
I thought the Texans were one of those teams coming into this season was overrated and overvalued. But I didn't realize just how bad this Titans offensive line was.
But when I start to feel the other way, I tell you, a lot of this season, I said I felt like the Eagles were overrated and overvalued. What did I just tell you? I'm wrong on them. They started.
What did Ron Romanelli bet you on this game? A hat? Is that
yes?
Yes. So what hat? Is it a specific hat?
It's whatever. It's a hat of your choice. I never have collected on a hat bet, so I wouldn't know. I've only paid them. I've never actually collected when I've won. So I have no idea. Jay owes me a bunch. Bittler owes me a catalog of hats. But so it's like, but I never actually collect them, so I have no idea. But I do know that I do know that this Titans team is about as bad as it gets because they've perfected both forms of blocking, the turnstile and the matador. And it's like, you can't do that in the NFL. You just can't do that. You can't get sacked 8 times a game and throw the most interceptions in the league and expect to cover point spreads. I don't care who you are. You know, it's like maybe the Lions got away with it, but this isn't the Lions. This is Will Levis. And the thing is, if you watch last week's Titan debacle, it was like they didn't even really play that bad. You're right. But you know what happened when they did play well? There was a penalty that called back the touchdown that would have been the cover, right? To Ridley. So it's like, that's how bad this team is. They're not the bad teams like this. They're also like the most penalized teams. And the Titans have all this magical combination going on for them. And, you know, I go on these shows and I whenever I get really adamant about it, that's usually when I got it handed to me, right? Usually, you know, so we'll see what happens. But I really do believe that the Titans are just a magical, magical gift this season.
I mean, I think Carolina is worse than the Titans.
I don't know. I would take Titans. I mean, I would take Carolina to beat Tennessee. I would.
I haven't cashed tickets like this since Josh Rosen last stepped on a football field.
I would take Carolina to beat Tennessee in Tennessee.
Jovan's like Josh Rosen. He starts dreaming. He's like, those were the days, man.
I would have Carolina -1.
He was ass.
God.
Like, how about a comeback? How about a comeback? Jovan like crushing Josh Rosen.
Hey, man, he was a gift.
It was beautiful.
He was a gift. He was a gift not only in the pros, the limited time he was there, but in college.
At Cal?
UCLA.
UCLA.
I mean, UCLA, right.
Yeah. Well, you missed this was pre-Costi 2 years ago on this show. Trey Lance's first game starting for the Niners. We had 9 people on. Everybody took the Niners. They were 9.5-point favorites. I took the Bears money line, man. It's like
that monsoon. Oh my God.
It was beautiful. It was like first play. Trey Lance has the turf in his face in the face mask. It's like, oh no. And then
all right, fellas.
72 minutes of football later, it was all over. It was all a pipe dream.
That's all of the NFL, man. Finally. Shit. We still gotta cover.
I like the discussion though. I
know. We still got to cover the NBA. Let's do it. Got 2 games in the National Basketball Association, or not 2, but first 2 up. We got Minnesota getting 8.5 in Boston, and we got Indianapolis laying 12.5 on Washington. Mitch.
Oh, basketball?
Yep.
Nice. So it's the Wizards are playing and the Celtics.
Wizards,
right?
and the Celtics, yeah.
Oh, Timberwolves on the road, no chance. I'm taking the Celtics in that one. Everyone knows I'm a big Brown and Tatum fan. I expect to see a big game from both of them. Also, the Wizards are basically the Panthers of the NBA. I'm taking the Pacers. Basically, Titans, Panthers type team. I don't even know. The thing is, it's like they are a lot like the Panthers because like they don't even have a star player, you know? They don't even have like, oh man, at least this guy's really good. You know, they don't even have that. The Pacers are super disappointing this year. I like the over in that game too. 241. I think that game could be 341.
Al, what you like first 2?
To be honest, nothing.
Fair.
Nothing.
Costi?
Nothing. Let's see. You said it was Boston and the Pacers?
Yep.
I mean, it's Pacers or nothing for me. Wizards are absolute ass. They're so bad. And Boston, Indiana coming home after an extended road trip. They lost 3 in a row. What's the best way to do is to get a get-right game against the Wizards, man. This is like a perfect lineup spot on an actual Sunday afternoon. Get right, man. Get well. Pacers for me. I don't like the other game, so just Pacers.
Wayne?
Yeah, I'm in the mood to continue my disappointment after yesterday, so I'm hopping on the house of disappointment. Give me Minnesota plus the 8. I see Conley out of the lineup. Couple questionable guys for Boston. I like Minnesota when Conley's out of the lineup. It brings more scoring in and more defense. This Minnesota team has a great bench to kind of match Boston's bench. I think Anthony Edwards is the best player on the floor. We're getting too many points with Minnesota, so I'll take Minnesota with the 8 and nothing in that Wizards game.
Jovan?
And that perception is the reason why Jason Tatum's going to show him up for a 40-piece. Celtics all day. It's just going to be one of those things where Celtics first quarter, Celtics first half, Celtics full game. I don't got to do any other analysis on it.
I'm on the other
Sunday
side.
afternoon spot in the Garden. Yeah, it's a Celtics spot. Double-digit victory. Listen, Jason Tatum knows the perception around the league that Anthony Edwards is better than him, but he's not. He doesn't have the full package in his arsenal at this point of his career. He dunks. He got that. He has a better shot this year. He's worked on his jumper, but he can't do all the things that Jason Tatum does. And these are one of these games that Jason Tatum's going to shine in. Him and/or Jaylen Brown. So that's all I'm going to say about it. And the 3-point differential in this one's going to be drastic. Because Minnesota's not a 3-point shooting team. So yeah, it's going to be a bad thing for them Timberwolves tonight or today.
Anything in the other one?
Nah, nothing on the other one.
I'm on the Pacers. I'm laying it with them. Perfect spot and situation for them. They're ass on the road. Let's just call a spade a spade. Pacers can't hoop on the road. Where we can trust them is at home. And like Costi said, there's no better bounce back spot than a bounce back spot at home against the Wizards. A Wizards team that's lost every single game this month by double digits, except for one. And in that game, they lost by 9 on the road in San Antonio. So the Wizards are just a pure outright fade. This is the bounce back spot at home for Indiana. Indiana also has a nice little homestand on the horizon here starting today against bad teams. So they should be back to 500 really soon. I think starts tonight. They take the Wizards behind the shed. And I'm on the T-Wolves. I'm on the Timberwolves plus the points in this one. It's too many points. Boston is still the best team in the league. And I don't like betting Minnesota either, but I don't like betting Minnesota when they're favored, when they're sizable favorites. That's when they're ass. That's when you can't trust them. When they're dogs, that's usually when they money, man. To be honest, I wouldn't be shocked if Minnesota came here and won this game outright. The Celtics, from a money-making perspective, are not who people think they are. They're, what are they, 500 ATS this season? Is Tatum better than Edwards? Probably. And I say that lightly. Probably. One's in the East and one's in the tough West, bro. And one has the better team behind him. So it's kind of hard to just give it to Tatum. The impact that Edwards has, the aura around Edwards wipes Tatum's aura. And aura, man, is a lot to do in the NBA.
Yeah, but here's the thing about aura. That's a perception thing. You see the flash and you see the dunks and all that. That's all well and good. But, when you're doing all the other things on the court, which Anthony Edwards isn't doing, not in this stage of his career, that's the difference. You got to look at the total package. That's why he shot his team out of the playoffs in the Western Conference Finals last year.
I mean, one guy had Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns as his running mates. The other guy had Brown, Porzingis, fucking the East All-Stars. It's not comparable. I don't know.
Jason Tatum has a body of work without those guys.
On Gobert his entire career. He's ass. And you got Anthony Edwards bringing him to the Western Conference Finals. Like, God damn, what more do y'all want from the guy? He's also in fucking Minnesota.
When you talk that talk like
Minnesota is
like AE did. When you talk that talk like AE did, man, you got to bring it.
And he do.
Game in, game out.
He does. And he does.
Jeff Teague said himself, players go to Minnesota and die. Anthony Edwards has not went to Minnesota and died.
Like he got Minnesota turned, man. Tatum is in Boston and people don't like him in Boston. It's crazy. It's like, it's not even really that comparable to me. from a basketball perspective, like I think I would give the edge slightly to Tatum. Slightly. But I don't know, man. If you're asking me right now who I would start a franchise with, Anthony Edwards or Tatum, it's Anthony Edwards 1,000. It's not even, I wouldn't even think twice about it.
Based on the fact that he could light your ass up dunking the ball. That's about it. The flash and in his mouth. That's what I'm gonna say. That's my opinion. But
Fair.
you look at the whole package, you look at the whole game, I'm giving it to Tatum.
Fair. That's what I say. From a slight basketball perspective, Tatum is the slightly better player. More refined, got a prettier game than Anthony Edwards. I'll agree.
Can rebound, can dish the ball. Pretty much does it all.
So does Ant from the shooting.
Ant does not do it all.
I don't know.
He got to work on this game. He got to get back in that gym for a few more seasons.
Fair enough. We'll see how this one shapes out. Mitch, are you in first here, right?
Yep.
Let's keep pushing. We got the Heat and the Mavs, and we got the Sixers and the Clippers. Big Al?
Yeah, I mean, I want to fade the Clippers off their back-to-back wins as home dogs. And winning teams don't do very well on the road off back-to-back wins as home dogs. They've gone 20-34 ATS. So I don't think any team's been as disappointing as the Sixers this year, but I'll take them today.
Costi?
Can't take the Sixers here. It looks like a trap, though, for me to take the Clippers. I'm not betting this game. On paper, they're the better team in an okay spot. I mean, the Clippers have been hot. They have lost three in a row on the road, but they're just getting better and better as the season's going on, and Philly's just a dumpster fire. I just don't trust this game or my analytics on it. I'd just rather just pass. And then in the other one, Mavericks for me, plus the point, sprinkle a little on the money line.
Flip the two players. If you put Anthony Edwards in Boston, I think Boston might get better. If you put Jason Tatum in Minnesota, they might get worse.
I disagree. I don't know.
Nah, not at all. You gotta look back to Jason Tatum's first 3 seasons.
I don't know. I don't want that. I'm not talking about that Tatum. I'm talking about Tatum right now today. Tatum not even the best player on his team right now.
I think it's the
he is the best player.
No, he's definitely the best player.
I'm taking Jaylen Brown right now today. Right now today.
Listen, for all that stuff that happened last year in the playoffs with Jaylen Brown getting the trophies, the Eastern Conference Finals and Finals MVPs, look at the stats. Look at across the board what was going on. Even look back at the games. You don't get there without Jason Tatum's input.
You know
the way he was affecting different parts of the game. I don't care about just scoring. I care about what you're going to do when you're not scoring.
The game and the impact on the game. I feel like Brown has a bigger impact on the game, and I feel like Anthony Edwards' impact on the game is more than Jason Tatum's.
Nah, what Brown did for the
I feel like a lot of Jason Tatum's
in those spots
are empty.
He had bigger shots. That's what he had. He had bigger shots. But in the totality of things, it's Jason Tatum all day. That wasn't his best. And the numbers that he put up, you put him with anybody else, they're saying, oh, that's a hell of a player. But for some reason, Jason Tatum, he gets a lot of heat. It is what it is. But look what he's doing this year.
He balling. Yeah, show me tonight. Show me again. Show me again.
I mean, it might happen back to back.
They should. They should win. They should with the team. It's not him. It's the fucking team. They got a fucking.
And he's at the forefront. And he's at the forefront.
If they don't, then y'all never shut up about Tatum. That's the thing. That's the flip side of the coin. It's like they better go and win it. They better.
They already won it. All these other one-offs. All I hear is the Joker. He's a one-off. Who else? Who else is a Giannis? He's a one-off. But that's the NBA that we live in. We don't have dynasties anymore. The dynasties are the thing of the past. Going with the Golden State Warriors.
Fair.
We won't see a dynasty in the next 10 years unless a LeBron comes into the league again.
Magic could do it.
Who?
Magic could do it.
The Magic
unless
not
unless the Celtics do it. Now unless Paolo takes it to the next level, then no, I don't think so.
Nah, the Celtics, I have them in the finals. They locked up everybody. They should be in the finals the next 4 or 5 seasons. And that's just being 1,000. Like, that's just me looking at the complete package. I think we got a Cavs Warriors situation on our hand. That's what I keep telling everybody, but don't nobody want to hear me. But we'll see. We'll see when the finals the next couple seasons is Dallas and Boston continuously. We'll see. But anyways, Wayne, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Heat over your Mavericks. It's a falling knife day for me. I just I respect this Heat team. I think they're due to play better. I hope Jimmy Butler does hop in the lineup, but even if he doesn't, I think Miami has enough. I don't love them as its favorite with 2-3 points, but at the same time, I do think they get it done against the Luka-less Mavericks. And same thing with the Sixers. Go ahead and catch that falling knife. One of the main reasons I love the Sixers because no Embiid. Embiid on that floor last when he played Memphis, it was 4 versus 5. He just doesn't even get back on court for defense, and he leaves his guys stranded. Every time Drummond was in, they would make a run because it's back to 5-on-5. The Sixers team is not as bad as as the record shows. They actually pretty decent. We're getting them as an underdog. So I'm gonna ride with the Sixers here, man. He's silly.
Oh my God, bro! I gotta stop, Jovan. What you like here? You on the Sixers too? Tell me.
I ain't gonna trust that game, but I usually fade Miami, but I'm on Miami in this spot. It's a decent enough spread to get behind them boys over there in Miami and South Beach, even though they don't have the fan support because everyone's mingling around instead of watching the games over there in Miami. A lot of things to do, not a solid fan base unless they're at the absolute top. But yeah, no Luka, second game. It's the second game without him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first game you're gonna get that bump without your star player. Second game is where things go the other way. So I think that the Miami Heat could get the job done. I think Tyler Hero has a big game. If Jimmy Butler's in, I think he'll have a big game. And Adebayo, he should put in work. So yeah, it's Miami for me.
It's the Clippers for me. The Sixers are the worst team in the NBA. That's not an opinion. That's not anything. That's a fact. They have the worst record in the NBA. They're the worst team in the league. So why everybody continue to try to think, Embiid back. They're going to hoop. Embiid out. They're going to hoop. In every situation they've been asked. In every situation, I'm going to continue to fade them. It's simple. It really is. The Clippers are playing well right now. Don't overcomplicate it, man. Don't overcomplicate it. We've already seen the Clippers smash them. They already smashed them, 110-98. Only thing I'm not in love with is them coming off the homestand, but that's not enough to take the Sixers, the worst team in the league. That's not enough. It's not enough.
Is Paul George playing?
Nope. It's the
McCain.
He's out. It's the McCain and it's the McCain Maxey show.
No Embiid neither.
No Embiid.
Oh, that's too bad.
Hey, man, I'm not trusting no James Harden-led Clippers team. That boat is soon to fall. I don't care what nobody says. You better get back on your fuck the Clippers pretty soon. I hope you don't think they're going to continue to play like this. They had a favorable schedule.
I don't know. I mean, they just beat up on the Kings. They beat up on your Magic. They beat up on the Warriors. That's a solid stretch of basketball right there. That's a solid stretch. I just look at shit for what it is, and I reassess my statements. And right now, I haven't been on the fuck the Clippers train. There's no reason to say fuck the Clippers. There's no reason to. Last year, the reason it was fuck the Clippers is because they were overrated, overvalued. Everybody was telling me the Clippers were going to the finals. That's what everybody was saying. They had at the All-Star break, the Clippers had the second best odds to win the NBA Finals. That's why it was fuck the Clippers. I'm like, what basketball are y'all watching? I don't know about y'all, but every night I don't do nothing but watch hoops. Like, that's all I do is watch hoops. And
I
I'm
mean,
telling y'all,
at that time, they were playing some real good ball.
they were playing
At
good
that- at
ball, but
that
that
time.
doesn't change the narrative of who the fuck they are. And it's like, fuck the Clippers.
Nah,
Right
I
now, there's
mean,
no reason.
listen, I never thought they was going to the finals, but I'm just saying, at that time, I could see why the odds were the way they were.
Man, and I just saying from that point forward, they were one of the worst ATS teams in the league, and we faded the hell out of their ass.
Yeah, today.
The rest of the
Sometimes
season. I'm telling, and I got that same tendency right now. The team that's the Clippers from last year is the New York Knicks. And a lot of people don't want to hear it. A lot of people not listening to me, but that's who the Knicks are right now. They're the Clippers from last year. It's fuck the New York Knicks, respectfully. Everybody want to believe they're the second best team in the East. Shit, they might not even be a top 5 team right now currently. I'm just saying. Y'all ain't gotta listen to me. I'm just letting y'all know. I'm on the Mavs, bro. Based on what should the Heat be favored here? Based on what, bro? Based on what? The Mavs are the better team, even without Luka. Like, there's no need to even overcomplicate this, bro. Don't overcomplicate it. The Mavs are the better basketball team, and they ball out on the road. Did y'all forget who the number 1 ATS team on the road was last year? The Dallas Mavericks. They don't hoop at home like everybody's like to claim they do. They hoop on the road. Jimmy Butler in there for the Heat. He ain't been the needle mover this season. They're a losing basketball team. And if you're
Isn't Gafford out?
Yeah, that don't move the needle for me. Lively's in there, so we cool. And as I continue to say, Kyrie, when stars are out, that's the Kyrie we fall in love with. Y'all remember? Did y'all forget about Kyrie in Boston? I mean, not in Kyrie in New York when KD went down. Was absolutely going bonkers. Did y'all forget about the Kyrie we've seen in the limited action without Luka? I know he didn't have the best game the other day, but we still went on the road and beat the Nuggets without Luka, who goes stupid, fucking dummy crazy in Denver. Look at Denver's home record the last 3 seasons combined. Like, don't even overcomplicate this, man. Take the Mavs outright money line, attack you some plus money. The Heat, if you're banking on Tyler Hero tonight, then good luck. Especially laying points. That's my thoughts here on this slot. Mitch.
Yeah, I'm taking the Miami Heat against the Mavericks. Homer, I don't care. And I'm taking the Clippers. The Clippers are just money, man, and just people have just been passing it up. I've been cashing on the Clippers almost every single day recently, especially.
I like the Clippers this year. It's not really fuck the Clippers.
No, you know what it is? It's fuck the East against the Clippers, man, because they can't. The East can't beat the Clippers, man. There's no one in the East that can beat the Clippers, and that's the problem that they have. Is that the Clippers own the East? They've won every game against the East for the last 7.5 years. They've won every single time, or the last 7 games against the East, outright them. So it's only you can get minus 125 at DraftKings right now on the Clippers on the money line. I think it's cheap, considering that they've beaten these 7 in a row, man. They're gonna beat them 8 in a row.
Fair enough. Last slot, and we'll get them up out of here, fellas. We got the Raptors and the Cavs and the Nets and the Kings. Big Al, or you went first last time, so it's Costa.
I'm going to go. This is pretty simple for me. Cleveland for me. Raptors traveling across the border. Customs train. We know how this works. Cleveland, outside of, covering wise, they've been exceptional. This is just a different type of team, and I'm going to keep riding them until the wheels fall off. I did fade them the other night with Boston, and I got what I expected, which was an L on my betting sheet. So I'm with Cleveland on this one, laying the number 11.5. It's not going to matter. It's going to be a big time win for them. And then Nets for me, great covering team. Sack Kings with a 9.5 point favorite at home. No shot I'm doing that. Home favorite, 9.5. Why? Why are they 9.5 points over the Nets? I don't see it. So Nets for me.
Wayne?
Yeah, that Nets Kings game, that shit is ugly. I can't even look at it. I'm I'm gonna take the Raptors though. Just too many points. Cleveland got some of their hot 3-point shooters on the injury report. I don't have it pulled up, but I think there's a couple guys that get respectable minutes. I feel like need to be on that floor to cover big spreads like this. Raptors getting Scotty Barnes back. Cleveland does a good job with their size. If you watch them, Allen gets them so many offensive rebounds, even when they're not having a hot game. He just gulps the rebounds. And this Raptors team isn't bad at rebounding team. They got their center Poto. He can bang with Allen, and I just don't think they get some of the offensive boards that they would get to cover their spread as well. So give me the Raptors in the 12.5 or 12, what it may be down to right now.
Javon?
Yeah, I'm on Toronto. The fact of the matter is they've made me, a good coin this season, and I'm obligated to back them. So, give me those points. I'll take it.
For me, I took the Nets on the jam session. The more and more I look at it, I think the Kings are actually the play. And I hate to do that. I really hate to do that. They're gonna be mad at me. But it's the truth. Like the more and more I look at it, it's yelling Kings to me. I'm mad at the Kings. The Kings are not a great team, but it's just the spot. And the way Brooklyn closed out that game against Philadelphia the other day was concerning. It's concerning. They were in that game the whole way through, and then they just died. I don't even know what happened. They just died on the vine. Kings are head and shoulders the better basketball team. Like the line, honestly, is exactly where it's supposed to be. The only thing that had me thinking Nets is trusting the Nets and who they've been ATS-wise, 10-5-1 against the number this season. They've covered a 66% clip this season. I don't know if that's enough to bet them today, though, after how they looked last game. So that's just my thoughts on that one. And then that Raptors Cavs is tough as well. I could really argue both ways. I'm gonna stay on the Raptors though. This is the number 1 and number 2 ATS team in the league. The number 1 ATS team in the league is the Cleveland Cavs. They're 13-4 against the number. Everybody keep waiting on the shooter drop for Cleveland. They are as good as advertised. I'm not really interested in fading them unless I have a clear reason to. Toronto 11-5 against the number 2 in the league. They've been really good at these big point spreads. Cleveland comes into this game slightly banged up. A reason I like Cleveland a lot is their depth, but a lot of that depth is probably not playing in this game. So you might run into some issues trying to lay a big number like this in this spot. They did kick the crap out of Toronto once this season in Toronto by 30. I don't know, man. This one to me just yells 7-8 point win. So I'm a lean towards Toronto. Mitch.
Yeah, this is a really tough one, this Toronto-Cleveland game, because, Cleveland's offense is just so good, man. They're just really putting the points on the board. And, Toronto, just they shoot threes so bad. They suck at it. So it's like, but they've been hanging in there because they've been getting really generous spreads. But, as Big Al said, covering a double digit in the road. Anyways, just kind of alluding to his other thing. But I think to me, this is a coin flip at this number. I could go either way. I'll probably take the Cavs. It's not betting that game, though. No way. And the other one, Brooklyn, and more Brooklyn. I love fading the Kings. I don't even care if they're home or on the road or anywhere at all anymore. I took the Clippers against them the other day. They were my best bet of the day, and they just the Kings what a joke that game was. The Kings are a joke, man. They're a joke. The problem is with the Kings is that everybody else is scoring threes and you're scoring twos. It's like you can't cover more than 2 points, man, even if you win. You can't rely. It's like it's the same thing in college hoops when you see these big numbers. It's like you can't rely on covering a big number if the other team's scoring 3 and they're only scoring 2.
You're right.
Three is 3 and 2 is 2. Costi, explain it to him.
The only person on the Kings that can shoot a three is Keegan Murray.
Three, you get 3 points. A
That's
2,
where
you only get
is
2.
random points. You're right, bro. You're right.
3.
3 minus 2 is 1, so you're ahead by 1 if you shoot a 3 versus a 2.
Yes. 3 points. The other way, you get 2 points.
You could
I
also
don't
get
know.
1 point. If you try to shoot a 2 and you go to the foul line, you could potentially only get 1 point. Or
The
0.
Kings.
Ben
the
Simmons
Kings-
is a bench player. He started in this game. I don't know. I'm fading the Nets just because of that. Now that I think about it,
The Nets shoot.
It's a tough one.
The Nets hit about 15 and change threes a game. The Kings hit 11. So that's, there's your, it just keeps adding up and adding up. Nothing pretty about it.
Al, what you got here in this slot, and what you selling today over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I would take Brooklyn plus the double digits. Looks like we're going to win our first game. We had Princeton against Portland. They're up by 37. Yeah. I like that. So we've got 4 basketball games left, including my college basketball game of the month. We've got 6 NFL plays to go, and I'm 27-8 on my last 35.
There you go. Hop on Big Al. Getting it done. Getting it fucking done. Costi, talk to me.
We're not giving because Al was giving the last games. Just from the sales side, if you're interested in joining something long term and you want to get invested with Dime Club or Insider Plays, which is basically access to our different syndicates, low volume is 500 a week or 1,000 a month, or high volume is 2,000 a week or 4,000 a month. Now Eric's here. You got to speak. You can actually hear you.
Call me. Just call me.
Call me. Don't be afraid to just
And Big Al
call me.
on added games is about 75% in college basketball.
24-9.
Oh, there you go. 24-9. Added games.
There you go. Wayne, what you got going on today, my man?
got 5 NFL games and a 3-pack and my best bet in the NFL. 2 NBA games. Only have my best bet out there for sale, and 1 college basketball game that is not for sale. So that's 3 extra plays. Grabbing something long term, 3-day, 7-day, or monthly pass. Pair me up one of these dope handicappers that you see on the show, and continue to get money.
Yes, sir. Jovan, what you got going on today? You're muted. You're still muted. I don't know. Still muted. No.
Let's see if I can mute him. Nope, I can't unmute him either.
I don't know. I don't know. Can't hear you. Mitch, what you got going on today? We'll come back to you, Javon.
I got NFL play of the day, plus I got an NFL 3-pack. I've got a bunch of college hoops, and I'll be putting in. Well, I missed the NBA, so I guess that's it for me. But I'm 21-4 in my over the last 30 days in NFL Sunday plays against the number, all against the spread, no totals. And I didn't take the Jets in any of them. I'll tell you that much.
Get it done. For me today, I have 3 NFL and 2 NBA. That's all I got. 5 plays today. I've been fairly hot, man. This week has been a really good week. I think I'm up 1,000 units this 1 week, last 7 days. So kind of caught fire in the NFL and the NBA this last month or so. So just trying to keep the momentum rolling forward, ladies and gentlemen. We've hit 3 in a row in the NBA play of the day. I have another one in there for y'all today. And then I got a 3-pack with the NFL and the NBA you can do. So however you want to do it, you can do it. Best thing to do is to hop on long term, and let's continue to kick the crap out of the books. Parlay time. Parlay. Mitch, talk to me. What you got for me?
I'm going to roll with the Brooklyn Nets plus the points. I'm going to take the Boston Celtics minus the points, and I'll roll with the – let's do an NFL in here also. We'll take the Miami Dolphins minus the points and the Colts. 4-teamer. That Colts.
That coach. Big Al, got a lay for me?
I'll go with the Pittsburgh Panthers in college basketball, the Utah Tech Trailblazers in college basketball, and the over in the Dolphins game.
Costa.
All right. We almost got one last week. This is going to be a common theme I'm going to do every week. We're going to get it this week. This is all for the fans. Will Levis, interception, yes. Jalen Hurts, interception, yes. James Conner, anytime touchdown. Mitch really likes that one. And Austin Eckler, anytime touchdown. $100 pays 17-18.
I kind of like it.
I'm saying last week we were one off with Kareem Hunt, anytime touchdown, and he was on the 1 yard line, and he decided to try to jump because he's 5'6" instead of just going low and getting in there. So we're gonna get
an idiot.
I'm gonna say it one more time. Will Levis, anytime touchdown. Will Levis, interception, yes. Jalen Hurts, interception, yes. Anytime touchdown, Austin Eckler and James Conner.
There you go. Wayne.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to college basketball and take Florida Gulf Coast. I'm going to the NBA. We're gonna go with Miami, and we'll go with Minnesota plus points.
Jovan, can we hear you now? I'm here. Let me see.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. We can. What you selling today, and what part you got for me?
All right, so I got a 5-pack in the 1 o'clock time slot, 3-pack in the late time slot. That's 8 games in all for the NFL, couple college basketball, 1 NBA. As far as NFL goes, 4 straight winning weeks. Just on the precipice of getting back into plus money. So yeah, looking forward to today's action. And been running hot lately, so pick up something long term. And for my parlays, we'll roll with VCU and UCF. That's the college basketball one. NBA, we're gonna roll with Celtics first half, Miami full game. That's another 2-team in for the NFL. We're gonna roll with the G-Men, Cowboys. And throw them bum-ass Titans in there, too.
No.
No.
No! For the last time, no.
Fair enough. Let me see. Let me pick one up. I'm gonna go with the let's not overcomplicate it. Chiefs, Texans. Then we'll go skate over to the NBA. We'll take the Clippers. And we'll take the I'm gonna take the T-Wolves. I'm gonna put the T-Wolves in there. 4-teamer for y'all. All right, fellas. That concludes today's show, man. That's it. That's all. A lot was talked about. A lot still needs to be talked about. We'll talk about it all over the week, man. We're back, baby. Any final words from anybody before we get out of here?
A little bit more banter. No, I'm good.
Money making Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Money making Sunday.
All right. We'll see y'all throughout the week. We out of here, man. Make it a good day. Peace.